going on, guys? So, as a prison guard, you know, we deal with individuals who don't like to follow the rules, right? So, when it comes to that, they get to wear these fancy little bracelets, right? These are hand restraints. So, the hand restraints are very important for us as prison guards because it ensures safety, security, and also, when they're used properly, safety of the actual individual that's being placed in hand restraints. So there's three main things when it comes to using the hand restraints. First thing is you have the PMCS, your equipment, your restraints, and your key. PMCS stands for Preventive Maintenance Checks and Services, right? Second, you apply the actual hand restraints to the individual. Third, on here, on the hand restraints, there's a couple things in here called the double locks. You have to make sure those are engaged properly to make sure your restraints are on properly. So I have Sergeant Lane here is going to be my demonstrator. I'm going to go through the 3 steps on how to make sure you apply them correctly. All right. First thing, PMCS your equipment. So you have your restraints and you have your restraint key. So first thing you do, you're going to visually inspect them to make sure that there's no cracks, no obvious wear. You're going to make sure that you have full movement of the actual cuffs itself on both sides. When you're doing that, you're checking to make sure all the teeth, there's no damage to the teeth on the actual cuff, right? So those are good. Next, you want to make sure your double locks will engage. All right, on this model of hand restraint, the double locks are these 2 little slots right here, right? On the end of your restraint key, there's a little pin right there. It goes in the slot. All you do is put it in the slot and push straight down. You'll hear a little click. If it clicks, then you know your double lock is engaged, right? Do the same thing on the other side. Good to go. Then, once you check those, you release the cuff to make sure everything is in proper working order. So, these ones are good to go. So, when somebody wants to, act up, there's 2 different ways that we can apply hand restraints. For us, in here, most of the time, we do hands to the front. You can also do it behind the back, to the rear, what most people see on TV. But for us, as prison guards, we do it to the front. Most of the time, they're fairly compliant. So, to apply hand restraints, what you do is you have the individual use, it's called the reverse handshake grip. So, I'll take my left hand, I'll grab his right hand, grabbing his thumb, to make a nice firm grip. You want positive control at all times, right? Taking the restraint. And the restraint, you want to make sure that the keyholes for the restraint key are facing you. Otherwise, if they're upside down, you have to release it from inside the individual, and it's a pain, just a pain. So, reverse handshake grip. You're going to take your cuff, place it over the wrist, insert 1 finger, either top or bottom, it doesn't matter. I usually do the bottom. You want to use about 1 finger width between the cuff and the individual's wrist to make sure that the restraints aren't very too tight. All right, and you do the same thing on the other side. So, for the 3rd step, use your double locks. All right, like I said. Oh. Just kidding, it's right here. That pin, right? Same thing. Right in the slot, push down. Give it a good test to make sure it's not going to collapse any further. You do the same side, or the other side, excuse me. Double locks engaged. And just like that, he's good to go, and you got 1 less person to worry about. So, in conclusion, for your hand restraints, to apply them properly, it's 3 steps. PMCS, Preventive Maintenance Checks and Services. 2, you actually apply the restraints to the individual's wrist. And thirdly, you engage the double locks, and it provides safety, security for you and the prisoner also. Thank you.
Oh.